Bill, could you talk a little bit about? I mean, you've been involved for quite a while with, working with uh, uh, educators at district schools, working with educators at unionized charter schools, non-union charter schools, et cetera. Could you talk for a minute about the call for a charter cap? Why that makes sense to you as a charter educator? And two, any impact you saw that the LAUSD strike had on sort of the broader set of teachers, whether they teach at a charter school or a district school?
Yeah, I think obviously that's a big question and a complicated one, but I think the main thing is that I was at a meeting of 30 to 40 charter school educators during the strike, and we talked about exactly these hard questions. And I think everybody came to a common general agreement that if you boil the strike down, it was asking to fund education in the way that kids deserve, right? And that meant also funding charter schools. And people are like, oh, wait a minute, that means everybody's benefiting from this strike, not just the LAUSD teachers. And I think that helped a lot. Like, it helped change the impression. There's still some wrangling, there's still some things and issues, but we face a barrage of corporate-style negative campaigning against the union in our inbox every day, and it's really intense. And it is like being inside a corporation, but trying to do public service. It's a very weird environment. But I think the strike and the discussions that the strike forced, but also the larger discussions about education and the needs in the state, I think all came together to help at least push people in the right direction on all of that. And the charter cap is not, our institution calls it a charter ban. Like, that's they rebrand everything, right? And it's like, I went to a parent meeting where they were trying to like fan the flames and scare parents about the school closing, or answer questions and make sure that they knew it wasn't closing, and kind of doing this weird dance. And I just said, look, California laws were written without any consideration for when this little experiment was going to stop, or when it would be re-examined or re-evaluated. Other states wrote that into the law at the very beginning. It's a very reasonable thing to say, look, it's time to pause and look at what's going on and see how it's affecting public education for all students.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that is a place that we can have very wide levels of agreement.
Yeah. Well, that's great. We're gonna get on with our other guests. We're gonna cover Measure EE. I know you all are supporting Measure EE as well, and we're gonna talk about that with our other guests. But I really appreciate you all being on here, and you guys are doing great work organizing at your school, building the broader movement for educational justice. So we really appreciate it. Keep up the great work.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Al.